Hi, girls. Welcome back to the Pink Podcast. And for today's episode, I have the most iconic story time of my whole life, probably, unless maybe like my childbirth story. But I went to Italy and I went as a girlfriend and I came back as an engaged woman. She's engaged. Her hand is so heavy and she just constantly has a headache and the sun is constantly in her eyes and there's just always something to point at is in there. And, I'm suddenly left-handed. Left-hand syndrome has entered the chat. I am a wifey. I mean, I'm not a wife yet, but I'm engaged. I have a story time. Okay, I have obviously a story time to share with you because I'm an engaged woman now. And who would have thought I would ever just grow up so fast and be a fiance and a bride to be, Okay, let's just get into the story. So around my birthday, my man, he was like, oh, let's go to Italy for, like as a birthday trip. We're not gonna go right now. Let's go in like 2 months. And I was like, what? Like, what? Are you serious? Italy has been our dream vacation for both of us for a long time. Like when we would talk about dream vacations or anything like that, or like, oh my God, like where I would love to get engaged or married or anything dream world, it was like Italy, Italy, Italy. And, right around that same time, we had been like ring shopping and on the conversation of like, oh, like, maybe soon we can start that new chapter. And, I was like, it smells like engagement around here. Okay. I was like, okay, if I know my man, and I think I do, I think he's gonna want to propose in Italy. So then we went extra ring shopping. Like I was like, you know what? Like, oh my God, it's so fun. It's like my birthday month. Let's just go shopping all the time. Like, that's kind of what I wanted to do for my birthday. And it was to just like go to the stores and have fun. And because we're gonna be shopping for a trip anyways, like buying clothes and this and that, I was like, oh my God, let's just go ring shopping while we're out shopping anyways. Like, let's just like go have fun. Like, it's like a fun thing to do. Let me make sure I get the right one. So, we were like ring shopping and I was like, okay, I think the stars are aligning. I think if he's gonna take us to Italy for evidently no reason, because honestly, we are in a season of our life where we're actually trying to save up. We're trying to buy a house within like, the near future and within the near future, in the near future. And we just have like bigger goals in the horizon. And so traveling, especially like to a different continent, which is more expensive than like traveling nearby or even doing something like a road trip or traveling within the United States itself. Like, obviously, traveling across the world is more expensive. And so it just kind of wasn't really in the conversation. It's not like we were considering going on a vacation soon or doing any of that. So when he just said, oh, let's go to Italy, like as like for your birthday, but like it's not gonna be on your birthday, but this is gonna be my birthday present to you type thing. I was like, I'm pretty sure. Anyways, fast forward. I have now had these conversations with my loved ones. I'm telling my mom, we're going to Italy. I feel like he's probably going to propose. I hope he's going to propose. I'm telling my friends, like my best friends, I'm like, we're going to Italy. I hope he's going to propose. Ashley, my bestie, she was literally like, what are you going to do if he doesn't propose? Like, are you going to throw a fit? And I was like, honestly, I think I will throw a fit. Because I'm like, why would you take me to my dream vacation where I have said a million times, like I would love to get engaged in a place like Italy, in a place with nature and like, this is basically my dream. Like, why would you take me to my dream place for a dream activity and not do the activity? It's like going to Disney World and not getting the rides. So I was like, yeah, honestly, if he doesn't propose, I think the trip would be ruined. I think I would kill him and kill myself and throw a fit. So whatever. I'm like telling my friends, I think he's going to do it. I hope he's going to do it. If he doesn't do it, I'm going to kill him. Sorry, I'm a little sick. I got sick actually the last day of our trip. Well, the day actually that we were leaving. So #blessed. Like I wasn't sick on the trip, but I'm recovering. Anyways, so fast forward, we are now leaving for this trip. Actually, no, let me bring it a little bit back. I was like, planning our fits, and I'm super type A. So I have this notebook and I had filled it with all of my outfits for each day, depending on what activities we were going to do and what I felt like the vibe called for. Like I didn't want to overpack. I didn't want to bring actually like a whole suitcase, like a actual, what is it called? Like a checked in luggage, because I watched all of these videos. People were saying like, don't bring a checked in luggage to Italy. Like there's so many like cobblestones and it's like annoying, and there's stairs and there's hills, and you don't want to be traveling with a big ass bag. Like you want to just be minimal. And so we took like a carry-on and a personal item. Obviously the personal item was like a travel backpack that we had stuffed, but we were trying to pack on the light side. So I was really trying to be deliberate and intentional with everything I was going to pack. I didn't want to like overpack. I was actually cool with even repeating some stuff because I didn't want to be carrying all that stuff with me and dealing with the Italy and luggage horror stories that I've seen all over YouTube and TikTok. And every video I watch, it was like, don't bring up checked in luggage. I was like, okay, I won't bring a checked in luggage. So anyways, the point is, I was really planning my fits. And one thing about my fiance, dare I say, is that he doesn't really care for matching. He's not like a person who's like, let's match. And neither really am I. I mean, we like to be coordinated to a sense. Like if I'm going to be wearing kind of like a dressed up vibe, maybe he'll dress up a little bit more. If I'm more casual, he'll casually dress too. Or if I'm going to wear a super bright color, maybe he's not going to wear like the super bright opposing color. Like we try not to clash, but we don't really ever match too much or like intentionally like, let's go match. And so for this vibe though, I was thinking in my head, you know what? I would love to be wearing white on that day. Like that would be so cute and like angelic and like, so I was like trying to guess which day he was gonna do it because I'm crazy and I just can't let anything be spontaneous or a surprise. And that's okay with me. And so I was trying to figure out when he was going to do it. And I had been really, really talking about this beautiful garden and like, what is it called? Like where you can canoe? It's not canoeing. I don't know. It's like a little boat with a paddle. And it was in a museum. They had on the outside, they had like this beautiful garden. Apart from their museum, the museum itself had a garden that you can explore and walk through, and it was mystical according to like everything online. And they had these beautiful little boats that you can just like paddle on, like if you were like in the Notebook. And I was like, oh my god, if I could have a wish, it would be to get engaged right there. And so we would have conversations and would be like, oh my god, like what are you most excited for when we go to Italy? Like what day are you most looking forward to? And I was always like, my favorite day would be the day of the boat. That little date would be like so magical. And honestly, that was my honest answer, not even just because I was hoping for it to happen there. Like I always love anything like nature-esque and just feeling like I'm outside and with like the trees and the birds and like anything super naturey. So I was just genuinely looking forward to that part of the trip. And he was looking forward to when we went to like Capri, we were going to rent a little like private boat and he was going to drive us around and we're going to be so cute on the little island of Capri and just jumping into the rocks. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his favorite part. But I will always make it known that my favorite part, which was the truth, was just going to be like that gallery day, like obviously the museum itself / the garden. It was just going to be such a beautiful combination of like art and nature and like, what I did. And so when I was trying to book the gallery, they only had it for the second day, which we already had the Vatican Museum tour for that day. And I personally, when booking my trip, I didn't want to overpack the days with like activity. I was cool with just like doing one activity per day and letting the rest of the day be like for exploration and just being immersed in the culture and just like enjoying ourselves and not just like, let's hit this and let's hit that. And now it's time for the Trevi Fountain. Like, I didn't want to have a whole deep itinerary. I wanted to have time to just like live and, enjoy ourselves. So that day was the only day that they had. Like, they, I guess, sell out a lot. And because I didn't really know I wanted to book the gallery part of that museum, like, I thought I just wanted to go do the little boats and do the garden, but then I started seeing videos about how beautiful that gallery is. And so I was like, oh my God, like, I guess we have to do the gallery. If we're already going to be there, we might as well. So I go to book the tickets. They only have it for the second day. I'm like, damn, we're doing the Vatican museums in the morning, which everybody says takes like 4 hours. And then we're going to do what? Another gallery in the afternoon? It's like so many things to do. But I was like, you know what? YOLO. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get engaged. Who cares? Or I was hoping. So anyways, I book the museum thing or the gallery. And now I'm telling him like, okay, like let's try to coordinate outfits. And he was down. He was game for coordinating outfits, which made me feel extra confident that he was going to propose. Because like I said, he's not one to care to coordinate anything. So I was like, if you're down, that means maybe you're trying to also match with me on the engagement day. And so that made me really excited. And so I was like, okay, like I was thinking maybe we'll wear this. And on the Vatican City Day, which is our second day, we wear this. And then we come back to the apartment. We freshen up. We change clothes. I kind of want to wear this white dress to the garden because I feel like it would be so magical and mystical for an engagement. And, maybe you could wear like your white linen long sleeve thing. It's so cute. It would match. And he was like, yeah, I love that. Like, that's so cute. Hello, red flag. I was like, well, super green flag, but red flag as in like you're snitching on yourself because you don't care to match. And he was down to match. And I was like, you know what? I think this is a good sign. So anyways, now in my head, everything is perfect. I feel like I know when it's going to happen. I can be ready. That day, I actually even packed extra makeup with me because I was like, if he does it, I don't want to like then be walking around looking crazy. So anyways, now we're in Italy. We do the Vatican City. Beautiful, amazing. I mean, genuinely one of my favorite days, like if not my favorite. I can't even, the Sistine Chapel, like I didn't even think I cared about art that much. I mean, I knew I cared about art, but like I just didn't understand to the extent of which beautiful art can go. And it was just such a beautiful day. Like we saw all the Vatican museums. We did the Sistine Chapel. We came back home. We changed clothes. We, freshened up. We're matching now. We're both in white. We look godly. We look gorgeous. We're in the city of Rome. We're in love. We're going to the Borghese Gardens. It's gorgeous there. It's perfect. The place is exactly what I imagined times 1,000. The vibes are immaculate. The garden is literally like Cinderella's like dream. You know what I'm saying? It was unbelievable. I was just feeling so like blessed and joyous and like I couldn't believe it. And we were walking trying to find these like little boats so we could do them before our appointment for like the gallery itself. And we'll get to the boats and it looks so magical. I mean, there was a lot of boats in the water though. So I was like, dang, that's a lot of people. I thought it was going to be a little bit more low key. But it was okay. I didn't care. I was just like, this is perfect. We go up to the person. They're like, we just closed. We closed at 6. It was 6:03 or 6:04. I couldn't believe it. Can I be honest? I cried. Before I cried, I tried to convince the worker in Italian. I tried my best. I spoke the 4 Italian words I knew, and then I added some Spanish in there because Spanish and Italian sound so much alike. I knew he would understand. I was just trying to be like, is there any way? Is there anything I can do? It didn't work. It just, he didn't care. He was like, no, it's like the city's law, like that we have to close at this time. Like, not up to me, and I don't care. And I cried. I cried because I knew in my head that he was going to propose. And I had dreamt of this whole thing. I knew when it was going to be. I knew what I was going to wear. It was like my dream. And I was prepared. Makeup was slayed. Outfit was giving. It was perfect. Oh my God. It was absolutely perfect. And then they were closed. And nothing else in that garden gave like proposal. Now I'm upset and the vibes are just off. Like even if he could have done it in there, I think we both knew like I was just like beat, you know? And not only because I obviously wanted it to happen there as like the control freak that I am, but I also really wanted to do the boats, period. Like I told you before, like I had been dreaming of doing those boats since I saw we were going to like Rome. So I was like, are you joking? Like this was going to be my favorite moment, period. Like apart from the proposal, like I was really looking forward to this. And also I'm in my proposal fit. He's in his proposal fit. This is the proposal day in my brain. Like, what do you mean we can't do the freaking boats, my guy? I was heartbroken, to say the least. Like, I mean, genuinely, like I was crying. And I felt defeated. I felt like whatever ends up being the proposal now, as beautiful as it'll be, like, I mean, we're still in Rome, or maybe he'll do it when we go to like the Amalfi Coast side, because we ended up like the first half was like Rome and the second half was like Capri, Sorrento, like, the south. So I was like, you know what? Regardless of what other beautiful place he does it, like my dream date, cute. My dream proposal was this moment. So it's like nothing is going to top this off. That's what I told myself. I was like, nothing's going to top this off, and it's ruined and it's done, and I want to kill someone. And I can't believe that I predicted the moment. I was right. I was prepared. I was excited. It's like everything came true perfectly. The weather, the fit, the vibes, the day, everything was right there. And we missed it by 3 minutes. Like, are you joking? I was so upset. To be honest, it kind of ruined the rest of the day for me. We went into this gallery and I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I was trying to be positive and optimistic and tell myself, it doesn't matter, like it's still going to be beautiful. Like you're still in Italy, like wherever he ends up doing it's still going to be gorgeous. And don't worry about it, pumpkin. It's still going to be great. But as I was trying to calm myself down with those words, in my head, it also felt like, it's not going to be like how it would have been in the boat, though. That was how I felt. And so, whatever. I was heartbroken. I was genuinely distraught. And the next day was the last full day in Rome. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't even care anymore for this proposal to even happen in Rome, because where else in Rome would hit? Like that was the most romantic, sweet side of Rome. Like Rome is beautiful and it's full of like art and these beautiful buildings and stuff. But I wanted like this very naturey proposal, like the garden we were at. And, the second half of the trip was going to be beachy-esque. And that is naturey, but I didn't want beachiness. I wanted garden-esque. So I was like, there's not going to be a right time. And you know what? I'd rather, I guess, be more in the naturey second half than in front of like the Spanish Steps or in the Trevi Fountain. Like, what the heck? Like, I mean, I knew he wasn't, I'm just joking, but I was like, where else in Rome? Like, there's nothing else that's sweet and romantic. And then I felt like if we were going to go back to the Borghese Gallery, it was going to feel like forced and like, So I was like, you know what? I'm over it. I don't even care when it happens now. I don't want to keep thinking about it. I don't want to dress anymore for it. I don't want anything. The only thing I told myself is like, I'm going to bring a little makeup bag with me every day just in case, because I know I'm going to sob. And whatever day does end up happening, I would hate to look like a crying rat for the rest of the day. So that's the only thing I was going to do to be prepared. I wasn't going to try to be in a cute outfit anymore. I was just going to dress for the day. I wasn't going to try to go back home and change fits middle of the day in case it was going to happen. No. So we get ready in the morning to go to the Colosseum, a place where literally 500,000 humans and I don't remember how many thousands of animals have died. So not really like a romantic day. In my head, I'm like, it's not going to happen today. And you know what? I don't even care. I don't even want to think about it. We're going to the Colosseum. I'm going to enjoy the Colosseum. I've been studying everything about the Colosseum. I'm ready to be immersed in history. We do the Colosseum. Amazing. And then later in the day, he's like, oh, I'm trying to like find a garden. I want to do like a little garden moment in Rome. And I respected it. I was like, you know what? I think this is his second attempt now. I think he's going to try and still fulfill my garden dream. But it's not going to happen, but is what I was thinking. He was like trying to find this garden. I'm like, there's not going to be another garden like that one. Like we had our shot and we missed it. So Okay. So now we're walking to this like garden that he had looked up that looked promising, allegedly. On our way to this garden, we find this beautiful church. We walk in there. There's barely anyone in there. It wasn't like during a service. And so, we sit there for a while. We pray. We were just like enjoying the church. Like it was so beautiful. And we were just like having a little sit down moment. And now we're walking towards this garden, right? We're like, okay, let's go to this garden. In my head, I'm like, it's not gonna hit, but cool. We get there, it doesn't hit. It's like, okay, where's the flowers? Where's the garden? It was just given like little, I guess, doggy park with some tall trees. Like it wasn't giving anything. And I could tell he was like disappointed by it. And he was like, oh, let's go try to find a different one, whatever. And I was like, my boy, let it go. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm over it. I don't even want it to happen right now. I'm wearing a Coliseum outfit. Like, I don't care, Like, whatever. We keep walking around this garden because we're already there. And we're like, okay, let's just keep walking around, but we're going to leave. And in our way of like exploring on the way out type of thing, we run into like the nicer part of the garden. And we're like, oh, when did this happen? Like the garden suddenly became gorgeous. It was like this different part full of trees, whimsical all over again. So many birds chirping, all these beautiful, beautiful trees. And like it felt so calm and perfect. And like the light was shining through the trees in this beautiful romantic way. And it wasn't that many people there. Like there was barely anyone there actually. And I was just like, oh my God, I hope he catches the vibe that I'm catching right now because this is actually perfect. Like, I take it back. This place is beautiful. Like, what's happening right now? So we're standing there, like, just immersed. We're just, like, looking around and just enjoying this beautiful place. And we're like, wow, like, what is this place? Like, mind you, we had just walked through a different part of it and it was just, like, giving nothing. And now we're on this other side of it and it's giving fairy tale. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm hoping I can send some brain signals that it's perfect. Like, please let it be right now. This is actually so beautiful. I couldn't believe it. And while we're staring at all this happen, we're like, let's say it's like a big circle, right? There's all these trees, and in the middle of the circle itself kind of dips in, right? So it's kind of like a little hill, it goes in. And there's like this tree stump in the middle. The light is shining in on it because it's like going through the trees. It's like a highlight point, literally like a movie. And there's like this guy there, and he has his dog. His dog is playing with a random other person's dog. And so it's just this guy and these two dogs running around, and it looked gorgeous. I was just like, what is this? Like, this is magical. Eventually, the guy and his dog leaves within like a couple minutes. And then my fiance, my fiance was like, okay, that's weird because he wasn't my fiance then. My man was like, oh, let's go down there. And I was like, oh my God, is he going to do it? Like, yeah, let's go down there. Sure. And so we go down there and I'm sitting on this tree stump and it's, oh my God, it just felt like perfect. It felt like everything I wanted it to be. It felt like no one was there because honestly, basically no one was there. There was like this lady, I don't know, 50 yards away. I don't know distance when I have to explain it like that, but like she was far. Like I couldn't hear her, she couldn't hear us. We couldn't see each other like that. And she just had two little dogs next to her. And on the other side, there was like some lady doing yoga. We couldn't even see her anymore. I don't think at that point, like we had seen her when we were on the top of the hill thingy. And so it just was so intimate in the most gorgeous spot of this whole little garden, like this like intimate bowl where the light is shining through. And, we're just sitting there and then he asks for the camera and the tripod. He's like, oh, we should take some pictures or something. And I was like, you never want to take pictures. You don't ever ask for a camera or a tripod. Like tripod, like you would literally have to probably point a gun to his head for him to ever say the word tripod. Like I had brought the tripod on the first day, I think, and I was using it and stuff, and he was like, bruh. Like I was like, oh, you think you're being slick. And I think he thought that I Well, actually, we have talked about it. Yeah, like he thought he was so slick. He thought it was given like, yeah, let's just take pictures. But I was like, whenever you take pictures, you do it with your phone. Like, you're not the pull out the camera person. I'm the pull out the camera person. So I was like, yeah, someone's cooking in here. And then I started to panic. Now I'm like, okay, now it's for real, real. Because before we walked into the little hill, I was hoping and praying that he was catching the signals because he was upset a couple minutes earlier that the garden wasn't giving. And now I'm like, this garden is giving. And he's like, the garden is giving. Like, this is so beautiful. I'm like, it is so beautiful. It's giving, right? And he's like, it's giving. And I'm like, is it giving? Like, you love it? I love it. Like, this is so magical. I'm like, I hope he's just catching the drift of like, if you want to, this would be perfect. Like, oh my God, I can't believe this is even a real place. So I was hoping, but then when he asked for the camera, I'm like, oh, he's doing it. He's doing it 100%. He's doing it. He's never asked for this camera once on the trip. This is the third day, and he's asked for the camera just right now. So I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm trying to distract myself because I'm like, I know too much. I know he's about to do it, and I don't want to ruin it for myself by knowing, and I already know. So I'm like, okay, let me just distract myself. I start like taking selfies and stuff on the regular phone. I'm trying to just like distract myself from the fact that it's about to happen. I don't want to start pre-crying. I don't want to like think about it until it is happening. So I'm like just trying to be distracted. And so whatever, he sets up the camera and then it's like cue. And then from the birthday party, oh, when we first walked into the garden, the ugly side of the garden, we see this little section off area where there was like a little birthday party going on. And we're like, great, a birthday party. Boo. I mean, yay for the birthday, but boo because we're trying to have a romantic garden moment, you know? And from afar, I can hear a song that they were playing. They were playing like the Don't You Forget About Me. And I love that song. So I was singing it and I was telling him, I was like, oh my God, I wish that they would play like a cute song for us to dance to. And he was like, oh my God, no problem. I'll just play it on my phone. So he starts playing basically our song. And we've never had a song. I mean, we've been together for almost 4 years now. We've never had a song. That's just not like the way that we, I guess, operate, or it just never really happened. Like we have a lot of songs that we both like and songs that have been played a lot throughout different parts of our relationship, like songs that we associate with different parts of our relationship, like, oh, this was like when we first got together, whatever, but we never had like a song, you know? And one time I was upset and he had like played some like, what do you call it? Like slow, beautiful, like classic jazz music for us to dance to kind of like get me in a better mood. And we had become obsessed with this one song from it, like obsessed. And so he plays that song. And we start slow dancing. I'm sobbing. I'm instantly sobbing. I'm sobbing in his arms. I'm sobbing because I know what's happening. And it's so beautiful. I can't believe what's happening. Like the place is so gorgeous. Everything is perfect. I'm like, I can't believe he's playing that song. It felt like just us there. Like the birds are chirping so loud. It just felt like a dream, like genuinely like a freaking dream. And he's like talking in my ear, saying obviously like all these sweet things and, you know, talking about us and our relationship and whatever, intimate stuff. And so I'm sobbing because I know what's happening. I know it's about to happen and it's happening. Like I'm sobbing because it's happening. And eventually he gets down on one knee. The most funniest thing happens, like as soon as he gets down on one knee, the song had ended, so like an ad started playing, and he hates this part of the story. I know when he watches this, he's gonna probably be like, why did you mention that part? Like I hate that part. But that to me is one of the funniest parts and the best parts because I had been like sobbing and like in my head, and like when you're so nervous, you almost feel like you're out of it mentally. You feel like you're, you know, like it's like too much. Like it almost feels like you're doing a school dance like in front of the whole auditorium. Like it was like it's too many nerves for you to even enjoy. So I was just so hyperly emotional and nervous that like that whole ad thing, like he took the phone out of his pocket and threw it, and I was cracking up, and then the ad kept playing, so he had to grab his phone and like turn it off. And so I was dying laughing, and I was just so glad that like something kind of brought me back in that moment to like real life and to like, oh, like, this is us again, because I could tell he was nervous and like I was nervous, and it was just like so overwhelming, and like it was just like so nice to have like a funny moment where it felt like us again, like ha ha ha, like this is so funny. And then he takes care of that, he goes back to it, but then the two doggies from that lady that was like laying far away, they come running down like a movie, like they just come jogging down, and I was dying laughing. Like, I love dogs. We had just been obsessing over dogs the whole trip. Like, everybody I feel like in Italy has a freaking dog, and we have been seeing all of them, and we wanted one. We're like, I just want to pet one, and like we haven't pet any freaking dogs this whole time, and like we've just been like, oh, look at these cute dogs and these cute dogs, and like they just came running to us, and it was so cute. They ran, they stayed for like a second, and they ran away. That part was like honestly probably my favorite. Like, the little doggies come. So now we've been laughing for like a good minute. Like, we laughed at the phone, we laughed at the dogs, and now it just feels like us again. And then, he popped the question, and then I said yes, and then we like kissed and hugged and kissed and hugged for like, I don't know, 2 freaking minutes. And we're just in there hugging, and then, eventually we just hear these people like cheer. We're like, what? So we look off to the side, and there was like a little group of people that I guess had watched us get engaged. I hadn't even noticed. He hadn't even noticed because, like I said, if there was no one there. So I guess like eventually maybe people slowly walking by had kind of stopped to like watch the proposal. So it was like a little group, maybe, I don't know, 6 people. I can't even tell you because obviously it happened in the middle of me being nervous. I looked over, I'm still crying, and we're like, whoa, and then like whatever. And it was so sweet. And then this other girl came up to us, and she was like, oh, I have a video of you guys. It was an Italian girl, and she was like, so sweet. She was like, I have a video of you guys. You guys want it? And we're like, duh. And yeah, that's how I became a fiance. Can you believe it? I am so thankful now looking back that it didn't happen when, I was planning and being so type A and so ready for and like wearing white. And it was just so like, I was too involved. There was no spontaneity. There was no like, oh my God, is it gonna be now? Like, I just knew it in my heart. And I was right. Like, he was trying to do it that day, and we talked about it after. And like, I was just so upset, being so sure that nothing could have ever topped that off, even though I was trying to convince myself, like, don't worry, it's gonna be better, and it was meant to be. And I was like, but it's really not, and it's not gonna be better, and it really wasn't meant to be, and fuck. But it was. And I couldn't believe it, and I was so happy that it actually just ended up being spontaneous and magical, and that I was still surprised in a sense because, the first time I knew what was happening. And so it was just so much better that way. And, we talked about like all the things that made that so much more special. It was really just us. And like, on the boats, it also was like, how was he going to do in the boats? And like, there were so many people on the boats, whatever. The point is, looking back, genuinely couldn't have even imagined that it could have gotten better than that, because in the moment it felt like there was no freaking way. And the proposal actually ended up being like 100 times more beautiful than I could have like imagined or pre-planned for, or like, oh, I would love for it to like have a day at the boat. Like, I'm so glad that, it didn't end up being the way that I was trying to like coordinate it to be. And yeah, now I'm a fiance. I mean, like I said, I just have such a horrible headache. It's so funny because it kind of doesn't really feel like a lot has changed. Like, it just feels like other people know. Like, it felt like we were just as serious, and like everything's the same for us and like our heart and stuff. It just feels like when other people look at us and like if they notice my hand, that they know that we're like, oh, they're like serious and like adulty. Like, it just feels like other people know, if that makes sense. And now it's just, I really am a fiance, and she's grown up, guys. She's really a grown up, and what can I say? I'm left-handed now. I've been diagnosed with left-hand syndrome. Anyways, so that concludes my engagement story time. I feel like I want to have my man on the pod. I mean, it's long overdue. I've never had a boy, a male on the pod, and if there's ever going to be one, it should be my man or my dad. But I don't know, at the same time, like, we are both so private and like weird about stuff, and like I don't know. It's just weird. But I feel like it'll be fun. It'll be fun to have him on and like talk about our engagement, talk about like our relationship, and just like finally have a sit down and like have a chat with my man on the pod, my fiance, have a chat with my soon to be husband on the pod. So I don't know. If I end up doing that, maybe I'll do like a quick Q&A thing and be a real YouTuber and answer some questions and be funny. But anyways, that concludes my fiance story time. I will maybe have my man on. Let's see what he says. Let's see what we decide to do. And maybe we'll do a fun little Q&A thing or something like that. But anyways, that's it. I love you girls. I thank you girls for watching. I hope you girls enjoy this video. And I'll see you girls next Wednesday. Bye.